Welcome back to GGAcademy. I am Gopi Krishna and I would like to teach you mathematics. And this is the first video on mathematics. What we are going to learn today is that first chapter, real numbers of CBSE. Be ready with your books and we're going to start learning. In this lecture, we're going to see the starting part, that is introduction of real numbers. In this introduction, we have to understand what is real numbers, what are the types of real numbers do we have, and other things. So first, you have to understand that a number which can be represented on a number line by a unique point is called real number. So that means what? If there is a number line, you know that if there is a number line, and if I'm going to mark some points on it, and if I can represent that number on this number line, for example 1, 2, 3 and etc., and that can be told as the real numbers. So what can be told? It can be it is understood that real numbers is a number which can be represented on a number line by a unique point. Now it is represented by the letter R. We have to understand this, very important. Okay, next we are going to understand this mind map, which is very important, and it is very easy to understand. No need to get confused now. So you understand here, real numbers are of different categories, like rational numbers, integers, whole numbers, natural numbers, irrational numbers, and this totally consists of one which is called as real numbers. So this is called as natural numbers. See, natural numbers means the numbers which start from 1, 2, 3, 4, starts from 1 and goes on like 2 to 3, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and goes on till infinity. And if you're going to tell whole numbers, it is nothing but 0 plus that natural numbers. That is, if we include 0 to the natural numbers, then it is called as whole numbers. And now if you are going to include all the negative numbers like -1, -2, -3 till minus infinity to that set of whole numbers, then we get is what is called as integers, which is called as integers. You have to understand this very well. And rational numbers means what? That means it is if a number can be represented in the form P by Q, where Q is not equal to 0. If I tell there is a fraction like P by Q, if Q is equal to 0, if the denominator is 0, then that means what? It becomes infinite or undetermined, undefined. So what we can understand, the numbers which can be represented in the form P by Q, that is a fractional form where the denominator, that is Q, is not equal to 0, are called rational numbers. And next we are going to go for the next one, that is called as irrational numbers. What are irrational numbers? Like opposite to rational numbers. That is, if the numbers cannot be represented in the form of P by Q, they are called as irrational numbers. For example, root 2, root 5, root 6, root 7, root 8 and so on. And then from that we can understand the numbers which cannot be represented in the form of P by Q. And pi, which is also an irrational number. And in another way, how can I explain irrational numbers is that in another way, that is, they are non-terminating. Okay, they should not terminate and the digits should not repeat. If the digits repeat themselves, then they will become rational numbers. Rational numbers, like for example 2.77777777, which is going on like that, I can write it as 2.7 bar. Like this I can write 2.7 bar. That means what? 2.7777, it's going on. That means what? This is a real rational number, that you understand. This is a rational number, not an irrational number. Okay, that doesn't mean it is not in the form of P by Q. We can write it in the form of P by Q, which you also already learned in 9th standard CBSE. If you are learning in CBSE and if you have completed 9th standard, surely you will be knowing how to convert rational numbers of these forms, that is terminating or non-terminating but repeating or recurring, how to convert it into the fractional form. State board would have also learned that topic. And next is irrational numbers that we already saw. If I'm going to tell like this random, like 2.71354312, something like that, you can see that the order is not at all same. It is a random numbers going on, and going on can be represented with this dots, so that you have to understand. So this is what you have to understand. Real numbers, if this rational numbers, that is integers, whole numbers, natural numbers, irrational numbers, everything is totally called as real numbers. Now we're going to see what is natural numbers in a very simple manner. Numbers, I already told you, numbers from 1 to infinity are called as natural numbers, and they are also called as counting numbers. I will tell you why. Now you see the figure which is given. So I'm going to tell you, I am going to tell count the number of apples in this figure. Then how will you count? You will not count as 0, 1, 2. You only will be counting as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. And you will tell there are 6 apples. You are starting with the with the number 1, and then you are going on to the next numbers. And you are not starting from 0 or any other negative numbers. So from this what we can understand that natural numbers are also called as counting numbers, and it is represented by the letter N. Very important again. And next is whole numbers, 0 to infinity, or I can tell it as 0 plus natural numbers. They are called as whole numbers, and it is represented with W. And integers means numbers from minus infinity to plus infinity. Infinity is represented by this symbol. You have to understand that symbol. This is infinity. Minus infinity to plus infinity. This is what? Exactly. This is integers. So negative side to positive side, end to both ends. So minus infinity plus infinity integers, and it is represented by the letter Z. And rational numbers means what? The numbers of the form p by q, where q is not equal to 0. This condition is very important. If you are not writing q is not equal to 0, then the definition or the meaning will totally change. So are called as rational numbers, and it is represented by the letter q. Why? Because rational numbers, when dividing, it gives some quotient. Quotient first letter q. So rational numbers is represented by the letter q. And irrational numbers not of the form p by q, and they are called as irrational numbers, and it is represented by the letter p. You have to understand this. That's all for this lecture. And we are giving the summary in the next page. You just pause the video and just go through it so that you can understand it better. Give your feedbacks in the comment so that we can improve a lot better, so that you will be able to understand. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe to GGAcademy channel, and don't forget to check out our another channel, which is GG Gamers. We require both gaming and studying, so studying is more important. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel and that channel. Thank you for watching.